So we're on to game 3 here in the semi-final between Andrew Quinn and John Malanaphy, and that means of course it's one game all. Any sideboarding changes given you're going first instead of second? You think pretty much going to stick with what they got?
I don't think so. I think they're probably going to stick with what they've got for the most part, to tell you the truth here.
So what's the big card then that Andrew wants to be seeing here? I mean, we saw the Jun charm.
Yeah, that was
what's
pretty
his other
devastating.
game breaker, do you think, in this matchup?
His other game breakers are going to be cards like Obstinate Bailiff and Batterskull, so he's looking to try and survive into that late game if he can do. Deathrite Shaman, which we've already seen the power of in the first 2 games, is going to help him do that.
Just hoping to make bigger monsters.
Yeah, pretty much. Bigger monsters, better monsters.
John going to be going down to 17 life, do you think?
Probably. Kind of what his deck does. The only real debate is whether he goes down to 14 on turn 2 for the most part.
Well, Andrew's helping him out there.
Yep. But I believe we're going to see either an Inquisition or a Kozilek or a Deathrite Shaman here. It's an Inquisition of Kozilek. So what does John have? I see a couple of Tarmogoyfs, I believe. A couple of Tarmogoyfs, a couple of Geist of St. Traffs, and a Lightning Helix. So probably takes the Helix here.
Yeah, he wants to keep his Shaman. Depending on what's in his hand, if you've got 2 more Shamans, he's quite happy to bait the Helix.
Yeah. He's just going to make 2 Deathrite Shaman on turn 2.
Yeah, but he wants to keep his Shaman out because then he doesn't care about the Tarmogoyfs, right? Because they're just going to be like 1/2s.
Oh, he takes one of the Geists, so
that should give you a clue as to maybe a little bit about what's in Andrew's hand right now, because he obviously sees Geist as being the biggest threat.
So you think that Andrew more than likely has point removal in his hand that he can...
And you think maybe he has another Deathrite Shaman as well, because he obviously doesn't care about the Lightning Helix.
Yeah. He may also have another Inquisition. Really.
Yeah, if you can get rid of both.
I'm not sure if Andrew will have kept his Thought Seizers in this matchup, to tell you the truth. I think that one of the things that I've found when you're playing against a Zoo deck is often a lot of players sideboarded out like their Duresses and things like that against Burn deck, and that was just so often a mistake because targeted discard against Zoo decks and fast decks in general can actually be very good because you're taking away their late game by doing that and you're preventing damage, obviously.
But in case of Thought Siege, you're sort of still doing the damage.
Yeah. Whereas Inquisition's just about as good as you get because you can take pretty much anything in the Zoo.
In this format.
Yeah, in this format, yeah. That isn't called Restoration Angel or Bloodbraid Elf. Yeah. It's like it's not as strong against the blue-white decks because of Cryptic Command and Restoration Angel, but
you should just be smashing their face in anyway.
Yeah, that's when it's like. And John makes his turn 2 Tarmogoyf, so we'll see what response Andrew has at this point.
You know, the UK loves their blue-white decks.
Yeah, and to be fair, it's the deck's solid enough, and
it's only solid enough in the UK because so many people play so badly.
It's at the end of the day, at the time this PTQ was running, it was just another mid-range deck for the most part. I think speaking to Jonathan Randall about it and a couple of other players pretty much said that blue-white was basically trying to do the same things as Jund, i.e. be a mid-range deck, but just wasn't as good as Jund at the time. So just because I want to play Jund, but I don't want to play Jund.
Well, the bottle of Mountain Dew makes its appearance on the other side.
Yeah, but it's at least it's not straight in the face of the camera this time round. To be fair to John, it's been a long day at this point, so you think that the old energy drink might help you kind of stay awake at this point. Dueling Goyfs.
Battle of the Goyfs, which is bigger? Oh wait, they'll always be the same size.
Well, since John does have the Lightning Helix in his hand, it means that Andrew can't really block with his Tarmogoyf. John once again taking some damage off his land.
At the same time, you know, if John swings, then he can't really block with his Tarmogoyf next turn either. So.
Yeah.
We're just going to see a bit of trading going on, unless Goif number 2 comes out.
Which it obviously does. And the first appearance of a Deathrite Shaman for John.
That's a game breaker.
Yep.
Certainly Jund is not happy to see all those on the other side of the board.
No, Andrew's like, hey, that's my territory, what are you doing?
So now, hopefully on this turn, we'll be seeing why Andrew picked the card he did at John's hand.
Yep. I mean, if he's only got the Tarmogoyf for defence, it might make a little bit of sense on that front. I mean, if John makes Geister Saintcraft in addition to this board position, and Andrew can't really do anything about it, that's a big swing in John's favour. Andrew being rather deliberate with what he's doing at the moment.
John doing an illegal shuffle there by only just cutting the deck.
Yeah. And Lightning Bolt for the Deathrite.
Never gonna live.
No, and Abrupt Decay for the other Tarmogoyf and swing in.
So John felt pretty good last turn. Doesn't feel so good this turn.
No.
Probably looking at another Geist of some sort if he's got the mana.
I don't think he does at the moment.
Hard to tell with Shocklands what he actually has up.
Yeah.
I think you could argue that, you know, if he did have a Geist, he would have slammed it.
Or if he had the ability to play it.
That's what I mean, if he had a Geist to be able to play. We know it's in his hand.
It might be Hallowed Fountain underneath all that, underneath the Blood Crypt. I honestly can't. Well, no, because that's Hallowed Fountain. So he does have the Geist mana. There we go. And he just says go. So he is now on D with that Tarmogoyf. Both 4/5 at the moment. And Kitchen Finks for Andrew. So yep, we've now got a standoff.
First person to attack with the Tarmogoyf will be definitely representing having a burn spell.
Well, we know that John does have one. It's just that whether he's willing to.
So the question is here: is he big enough to swing with his Tarmogoyf as a bluff?
No, he's bringing it with the Geister Saintcraft.
Because obviously Andrew's worry would be double blocking it and then having his monster burnt.
Yeah. Well, what's happened here is that Andrew's blocked the Geist with Kitchen Finks and John's killed it before combat damage is dealt. So the Geist lives for a bit and 2 damage dealt in total to Andrew there. But John does get to keep his Geist around for another swing. And Deathrite Shaman from Andrew, so better find a way to deal with that at some point, John.
If you actually look at the way the people are playing at this point, it's like John sort of got his elbow on the table and his hand underneath his chin, which kind of, it's often done by people who think they're behind.
Yeah, whereas you just saw Andrew was sitting back with his arms folded, looking at John there. It's like, yeah, you're going to have to force the issue, basically, is the message there.
You generally find, though, that people who sort of sit forward do so because they have decisions to make as well. So when people are sat back, they generally have a hand that doesn't have any decisions in.
Yeah. So an attack again with Geister Saintcraft here, and it looks like Tarmogoyf's going to beat up the Geister Saintcraft. Any responses from John? Doesn't look like it. Take 4. And he finishes off the Tarmogoyf with Lightning Bolt. And we've got dueling death rights. Oh, no we don't. Never mind. Oh, he's good at removing those death rights, Shaman, isn't he?
Not much just stuck for John this game.
Andrew's also got that treetop village as well, so he's definitely got the... If he can get rid of that Tarmogoyf, then he's got the necessary army on the table to get rid. And Bloodbraid Elf into Kitchen Finks, that's pretty good.
Drawing what you need when you need it.
I think that anyone will... I think that anyone, even good players, will admit that if you're going to go far in a PTQ, especially one like at Liverpool where there are 143 players, at some point during the day luck's going to be on your side. I think in this case it's just been a very, very good draw from the John's side of things, and John's not really had the opportunity to get in this game for the most part. So what's Andrew drawn off the top this time? Because we are in the situation now where both players are off the top, and in that situation I would much rather be the John's player, especially given board position. Andrew's sacrificing land here. It could mean that he's got his back to skull in hand.
We'll see once he's finished shuffling.
Yep. Oh no, he's activating his treetop village and coming in with the entire team. So
Well, he's looking to end the game next turn.
Or even this turn, depends what he's got in hand. Tarmogoyf blocks and kills the treetop village. John's going to take 8 and drop to 3. So did Andrew draw a lightning bolt last turn? No. But he does have him on dead to Deathrite Shaman.
John's looking at dealing with like 3 cards with the 1 card he's drawn.
Oh, he bolts him in response to Bloodbraid Elf. So that's the
That's a game, and Andrew moves on to the final, and you'll see he'll be playing in the next video.
Have you been quiet? You're the only one that kept it.